What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Armor, and today we're taking a look at the KBBMP10-V. It's a cool new Voyager size MP10, so let's go ahead and take a look. Alright guys, so here's the box, and I got this straight from tfdirect.com. Just a disclaimer here, I did pay for this release, so you know, in case those of you out there are like, oh, if it's so biased because you get stuff, I paid for this, okay? So having said that, yeah, I got it in a nice little cardboard box. It says KuBianBao, or as the Chinese say, KuBianBao. I really don't know how they would really say it. That's a little reference there to that ping pong movie. But anyway, yeah, so inside here is the KBBMP10. And, you know, I showed you guys this with the KO Ironhide, is that they're using these little corner pieces to protect the box. There was other packaging in there, but just to for the sake of the review, it's already been open. And, yeah, as you can see, this comes in a nice, cool little collector style box. I'm going to show you this because it's amazing what these KO people are doing. I mean, they really are, you know, on top of things. As a matter of fact, in my, you know, I'm not sure if it's the same manufacturer, but the KO Ironhide that I had some issues, and they actually reached out to me, believe it or not, to, you know, find out a little bit more about the issues I had. But anyway, we have this here from, as I said, KuBianBao. You'll see down here it says alloy parts. So I know the MP10, the regular version, the KO and the original, had alloy parts, but these little figures also have alloy parts, and even more so than the original, at least percentage wise. Alright, so anyway, nice sturdy box. As you can see, it's got a split down here, it's got photography, which is really nice, and the back also, it's all original photography, it seems. And look at the alloy parts. You got the chest, you got the crotch piece, you got the feet, you got the rims. Look at that, rims out of metal. You have the matrix out of metal. You have the little Megatron gun out of metal. You have the thigh covers or shin covers or side panel covers on the legs made out of metal, and also the sword. And these are all the included accessories. So there's some things here you don't get with the original MP10. Get the rocket pack. Awesome. You also get the sword, which is not included in the original. You get 3 heads. It looks like you get an Orion Pax, you know, looking head. You also get these 2 heads, which are very reminiscent of Dakatoi's heads. So I don't know if these are just remakes of that. I don't know, but they're very similar. And then the matrix actually splits open. How awesome is that? All right. And I love here how it says, "We kicked around, full of powerful energy." Don't know what that means. I'm sure it translates into something cool, or from something cool in Chinese. I don't know what kind of translation they're using there, but a little silly. Of course, you get the little tfdirect.com postcard type thing, which is really cool. You know, explains how tfdirect.com works if you're dealing with them, and which is always nice. Instead of you having to email first before you find something out, a lot of the information is there. You also get this tray here, and as you can see, Optimus Prime is not in there. Oh, excuse me, it's not really Optimus Prime, but we all know what it's based on. And came in a little baggie. I have him out of the box because I have him in robot mode, since we're going to go from robot mode to vehicle mode. As you can see, all the other accessories here. We'll go over the accessories, you know, first. I'd like to get that out of the way before we focus on the robot, but here's the backpack. It's almost like similar to the, you know, Masterpiece Bumblebee backpack, which is kind of hollow. It's got clear boosters here. Alright, so nice detailing. Very nice plastic, by the way. We also have the Energon X, which is a soft PVC. Very nice and glossy. Look at the molding on that. It's so nice. And obviously you just attach that here. Is it keyed like the... Yeah, it's keyed like the regular size one. Alright, so we got that. Moving right along, we have the Megatron Gun. Both pieces are die-cast metal. I mean, they really don't have to even go that far, you know, to do that, and they did. All right, except for the little joint here. I'm not exactly sure if it's this way, maybe. to slide it on. But anyway, that little joint there is plastic. The rest of it is die cast. I was very impressed with that. If we take a look at the his regular blaster, it's not spring loaded. It does fold, just so you guys know, so you can you know, hide it in the back of Optimus Prime. Move over to the sword here. I think this is like a movie style sword, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It's included in there. Die cast also. And you can use that as a letter opener if you wanted to. And of course the three separate heads, the three optional heads. This is amazing that they do this, guys. Really. You have this. I don't know if one's supposed to be movie, one's supposed to be cartoon. I know the DACA heads were like that. Not exactly sure which one it is, but this is the one that I like, and this is the one that I use on my Black Convoy, except I've always really had an issue with the side view, but the front view is really cool. And then we have this head here. I don't know, so you take a look at that, you decide which one's which. Okay, so it's really cool, they give you that. And then of course you get this one, which, if I'm not mistaken, is an Orion Pax head, isn't it? You know, from the Generations line. I don't have it here to compare, but that's, you know, going off memory. And that's it for the accessories. This is the instruction booklet, as my camera decides not to focus. And yeah, pretty straightforward. You know how that transforms if you have the MP10. It's also got you know, all the other figures in the line here that they sell. It also shows you the alloy parts. Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, guys, I'm sure what you want to see now is the robot. So as I put this away, we're prepared for that. So yeah, let's take a look at KBBMP10-V. And here he is, guys. Look at, it's so tiny. It's such a cool little figure. It actually, you know, for some reason I think the size works for this mold. I think you know, they were able to shrink it enough without really getting rid of a lot of detail, and it just, I think it looks a little more high-end than I thought it would be. You know, the MP10 is obviously a high-end figure, but at a big size and having the details it does, you know, it's kind of like midway, not ultra high-end as you would find if you're a Japanese die-cast collector, but very cool figure. But on this size, really, the shrinking and having those features makes it seem like a really high-end figure. Now, not only am I going to go over the figure itself, the quality, things like that, what you would expect from a review, but there's a couple of things that just, you know, not annoyed me, but upset me a little bit. But again, you know, when it comes to toys, your whatever mileage may vary. Okay, we'll get to those later on. But let's check out this thing out. I mean, I'm already telling you it's awesome. Number one, it looks awesome. I just said that. And somehow I almost feel like it's, I don't know, the proportions, there's a little change in the proportions, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, you know what, let's take a look at a full-size MP10. It almost seems like, and I apologize for having his chest open, let's just close that there. Is there any difference, you think, in the legs? Maybe the thighs are longer? Because that's what it is, the thighs are longer. So it kind of gets, yeah, you can see the space between the fists here and the knees. One of the things that annoyed me about the proportions of this guy was really the whole gorilla arms, and I got used to it, and looking at it now, it's really no big deal. But there's something I was thinking about that when I'm like, something with the length of the legs, and sure enough, look at that. The thighs are almost just as long as the MP10 in Voyager size. So, alright, so we got that out of the way. We already know that it is different. So, very cool. They didn't just make an exact duplicate, a miniature version. Second, the plastic quality. Beautiful. Beautiful plastic quality. Paint apps are absolutely spot on in every section of this figure. One of the things I was really enjoying about the paint apps was really the way they did the heads. The eyes are perfect. The silver's perfect. And if you notice, he's got a head, which means he's got a total of 4. So a lot of, you know, play value, I guess, or whatever you want to call that. And of course the alloy parts. You got the chest, you got the crotch, and I was thinking the crotch looked a little weird the way the paint is, but that's because it's sprayed on die cast metal. It's been cast. And then the flaps here. These flaps are also die cast. And we did talk about the accessories being die cast also, like the sword and the little Megatron gun. Now as far as features, yeah, this guy's got features, man. Start by looking at the same gimmicks that MP10 has. We got the chest that opens, alright, and it's got a nice satisfying click to hold it open. And of course, little chest thing here, which is probably just as difficult to open for me as the MP10, but somehow I got my nail in there. And look, the matrix. It's already pre-installed, so it was a little annoying to take out because I have obviously very large fingers compared to the figure, but I have the matrix out. One of the cool things I love about this is not only is the matrix cast out of metal, but it's also got this little separating feature thingy that the regular MP10 size does not have. Alright, so we'll compare these. Alright, you'll see obviously this one is smaller, but again, still made out of metal, which is a really cool thing. You can see the matrix compartment, almost couldn't spit that out, in there. So really nice, everything's nice and tidy. This is nice and firm to click in there. And then of course we just close the chest, and there we have him back to normal. We're going to check out some of the accessories. We have the Energon X, and this is keyed the same way the original one is for the thumb. Forgot which way it is. The thumb is here. Yeah, there we go. So you want to make sure you key it the right way so you can put the axe in, and you can just rotate this if you want to rotate it a certain way. And I think it's really nice plastic. I love the way that looks. It's like almost like hard jello. The color and everything. Look at the way it distorts everything. It's like a little lens. What else we got here? We have the little jet booster thingy. I have not installed this yet, but it's pretty straightforward. You get these little pegs, which obviously will peg into the screw holes back here, like so. Alright, that's actually a really cool thing. Should have came with the original MP10. And it's got the little clear boosters. There's no fire effects or anything like that, but it's really cool the way they just included that in here. We also have the Megatron, right, which we can assemble here real quick. This slides on the back. Not sure if I'm doing it the right way, but get it on here at some point. Alright, there we are. I don't know if this is the way it's supposed to be angled, but that's the way it went in, so let's just leave it at that. And yeah, obviously, you can put it in his hand. I'm going to take that off just to make it a little easier on me. While we're at the hands here, let's check out the finger. It still has an individual finger. This, I don't think it's pinned. I think it's just like the regular MP10, where it's just like little nubs on either side that snap in, so you want to be careful so you don't lose that little tiny finger. If you thought the losing the MP10 one was a big pain in the butt, you definitely don't want to lose this little guy here. So we can actually put the finger in the trigger, which is awesome, but you can see it's flexing the joint, so that's a very good opportunity to lose the finger. So I don't really want to bother putting that finger in there. I don't even want to bother using this, but if you wanted to, just keep that in mind. Alright, and we shall move on to his regular blaster. So his regular blaster has the pegs on the sides of the handle. Just going to put that in there, and it tabs in. You can see I haven't even closed the fingers yet. It tabs in rather nice and securely. Looks a tad small though. Yeah, just doesn't have that effect. But yeah, look how tiny it is. Yeah, it just looks small to me. I guess because I have aftermarket, guns on my Transformers, but it does look pretty small. And again, this can be folded and stored in the back. We'll just fold down the handle here. This comes down, and they do it the same way as they do with the regular MP10. It's just sprayed like a flat black in there, and I believe it's this way, right? And this should just slide in. You can turn it to the bottom to make sure you feed that piece in there so that it's nice and secure on the inside. And then close it up, so it holds it really nicely. Now the last thing we want to check out, as my camera focuses, yay, are the the special, or not special, but the alternate heads here. Like I said, I believe these are the DACA toy style, these two right here. So we'll check them out. Just got to unscrew the backs, and then the Orion packs, I believe this was right here. So let's go ahead and do that. All you got to do is get around back here and take this little screw off. Alright, so grab your little trusty mini screwdriver, and I'm sure you have these. I have a ton of these left over from all, like, you know, the optional upgrades or the third-party upgrades, like the hands and stuff. They usually come with little screws or screwdrivers. And back this out just a tad, just enough to lift that out. Alright, and then go ahead and try out the Orion Pax one. So we'll unscrew this, and we'll just skip ahead. You don't need to see me do this. And there you are. It's actually pretty decent looking. I didn't think I was going to like it too much. Might be a little weird if you're not used to seeing, or not, you know, this face with this body, but I think it actually looks quite alright. It does have light piping on the top here, but as you can see, the eyes are painted blue. Alright, so we're going to check out another head. And this is the first one we're checking out. This is the side profile. Alright, it's with the, what do you call it, the face mask that points up in the middle. Alright, so you can get a look at that. And we're going to check out this one, but you can see the differences already. So, can't quite tell you off the top of my head what this is supposed to be like. It's one of the animateds, I guess, but can't tell you exactly if it's from movie or cartoon without, you know, watching it. But anyway, that's one of them. And we'll go ahead and remove this and get the other one on. And here is the last head. The only thing that bothers me about this is kind of like the side profile. It's got that like chin that sticks out, but then like the nose is pushed in. But the front profile is really cool. It's probably the one I'm going to leave. It does make the standard one look really round and stumpy, or I don't know what the word is, but really round and chubby, I guess. But the standard one is freaking awesome anyway. And then this one's cool. I mean, they're all cool. I guess you can, you know, just bounce around between whatever, you know, you feel like doing. You know, maybe one day you feel like this guy, maybe another day you feel like that, maybe another day you feel like that, maybe sometimes you feel like that. So it's cool that it comes with this. I think it's amazing all the stuff this comes with for 50 bucks, honestly. You know. So we're going to check out the transformation, but before we do that, since a lot of you probably will tune out for the vehicle mode, the alternate mode, I do want to get towards or touch on something that you know, it's a review, so I do need to point out certain things that you know, I came across while reviewing this guy, and they're concerning. All right, so number one, during transformation, there is a need to sort of flex this piece here, right? There's actually cracks where the hinge pin is. Okay, it's not cracks to the point where it's going to fall off, but I'm kind of afraid that at some point, like maybe like a year down the line, I decide to transform it again. I might forget that the cracks are there and just tug on it a little too much and then have it snap off. You know, that's just something to look out for. And it's on both sides. And they were there even prior to transforming this guy. Those cracks were already there. I noticed them in vehicle mode. And another thing is this right here. You can see where the screw goes in. Oops, sorry. The screw goes in right there on this little hinge, and the actual outer piece of the hinge snapped. So that hinge piece is for, is it for this also? No, actually this swivels on the red part, but the gray part squeezes around the die-cast piece that snaps into the hips, if you know what I'm talking about. So you know, while transforming, I didn't have any issues with it being really loose or anything, but it's kind of like, yeah, it is upsetting because it's a beautiful piece. I mean, everything feels excellent. I mean, I tend to use that a lot. I can't say enough about this, and this is one of those figures I really can't say enough about because I love it. But it's just something I definitely have to point out, and I hope it's not an issue with everybody's. This side doesn't look like it has an issue because it's closed off on the end. And this one's open. Maybe there's either the head of the screw is too big, or just somehow during tightening it stressed it enough to split. You know, again, that was there before, you know, I even transformed it. So anyway, speaking of transformation, that is what we're going to check out. I'm going to leave this head just to make it easier, and hopefully I remember exactly how to transform this guy. There are a couple of differences though. When you go to push in the legs, there's no buttons back here. Alright, so you do have to push in. And this guy does come in vehicle mode, by the way. So you're going to have to give me a moment while I process this whole transformation thing. But essentially, it's the same exact thing as the original. So we're going to pull the legs in here. All right, and I like this because I always like to mess around when I first transform it, like make a little stumpy Optimus Prime, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I thought that was funny. And flip this around. And again, if you've transformed the MP10, very, very similar, if not identical, except for the leg button things that aren't there anymore. All right, and you'll notice the snaps. Like it's just really nice and firm. Everything is firm and not loose. And this is actually the part that scares me. Is this part here? You got to kind of push. I would prefer not to pull on this. Just, you know, snap the top off. And here you can see a better view. I don't know if you can quite see it. There's a pin and then there's a crack going across it all the way through the back. I don't know if you can see that split there. Also on this side. So just be careful. Like I said, even if I tug on it, it doesn't open. And, you know, you don't really need to tug on this too much. Okay? But it don't snaps. And you'll notice the metal here, the metal part is painted red. What I did notice on the original MP10 is that even the first transformation, all the paint would just scuff off on this. So it goes to show that the paint was applied very nicely on this. But anyway, yeah, so we'll keep going. Come around and fold these things out of the way like that. And then that allows us to bring these parts down and then around this way. All right, just like so. We got to get the tires down, remember? And then these pieces will be ready in just a moment. Bring down the bumper. Right, I'm going to want to open this here. And I decided to forego the whole automatic or whatever, the sequence that I usually do for the transformation, just in case you guys were worried that I might skip over some stuff. And it's a good way, too, to really describe what's going on here since, you know, it is the same exact transformation, except we are doing it with a smaller scale. Couple of differences. I wouldn't even say a couple. Oh, another thing, the mirrors don't fold, right? So I guess there's a couple of differences. And we obviously want to bring the head in, and what's good is the alternate head does fit. And then close this. Don't know if I was quite ready to do that yet, but anyway, push this in and fold this back. Yeah, so just don't forget to do those ladders. I usually, if I forget, I don't do it again. I just don't give a crap about that, honestly. But for the purpose of this review, I have gone back and wasted a little bit of time there, just so I can show you the ladders, which are detailed with black and silver. All right, and then everything else is pretty much straightforward. All right, and this I forgot to spin around. And you have to obviously transform the legs. Alright, so this is going to fold in. This is stuff you probably want to have done beforehand. Again, I'm not going by any specific order here. Just whatever comes to memory. And this goes around, goes to the front. Alright, the knees go forward. And then squeeze the feet together, make sure everything's lined up. And there you are, vehicle mode. Got it a little more gappy than normal because I kept going back and forth and misaligning everything, but it does hold together very well. Alright, as you can see, even though it's got the longer thighs, the proportions are still good. But here's what I want you to check out, guys. Look at those cast wheels. I think they're done in raw zinc or whatever it is, whatever metal they use. It's got like a nice yellowish, like patina, I don't know what to call it, but it's not just straight up chrome, which is a nice touch. I think that looks beautiful. And of course, rubber tires. Okay, so there it is. Alright, so yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this little thing. Even though mine has those couple of issues, I would have no problem buying more of these. I would probably want to get all the colors, you know, just because it's small, but it's still like an MP10, and the MP10 is one of the awesomest releases ever for Transformers. So yeah, if you want to pick one of these up, I know they have the Magnus version, either out now or coming very soon, so you can click the link in the description below for tfdirect.com to pick one up. And until next time, bye bye.